Hi guys, my name is Holly. Welcome to Makin It Weird podcast. I'm here with my co-host and sister,
Christina. Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about eggs, homeless, and pesticides on our food.
and anti-inflammation diets. Well, it's really called anti-inflammatory diets.
Yes.
And I don't see it as a diet. I see it as a way of life now. I don't say that too much just because diets have always failed me. The reason I changed my eating in the past was to change the way I look. Now
Yeah, it's a good thing.
so I had to change my mindset too. I want to feel better. So for the past, I don't know how many years, maybe 15 years, I've had back pain, but within the last year, it's become chronic. And I am in so much pain a lot that I want to smoke chronic, but I can't.
Seriously.
Because I'm a mom and I already used to do that. And it made me really lazy and unproductive. So I can't smoke the chronic for the pain, but the chronic pain is still there. So I changed the way that I eat. And in order for me to do that, I had to talk myself into it. So I spent months before the end of 2024 visualizing what type of diet I would like to have or, lifestyle change. And I came across like several books, and I just picked one and I just used that book as a reference. But I'm noticing and learning that a lot of illnesses are due to the way that we eat, and also also the things that they put in our food. I mean, I love food. Don't get me wrong. Okay, like today I was dreaming about the egg rolls from Jack in the Box. I used to eat those all the time in high school, and here I am at 38 and they still have them, and I want to go get in my car and I can do whatever I want now. See, in high school, I used to have people drive me to get food, but now I have a car, right? And I have to stop myself because I can't have that.
Yeah, fast food's so easy. You could just literally hop in your car and go.
Yeah, and you can talk yourself into anything, right?
Seriously.
What is your favorite thing to eat at fast food restaurants? Like, what would you go get right now if you could?
I've been shying away from fast food, but I do like the Jack in the Box breakfast sandwiches.
I like the extreme sausage sandwich.
I
Sandwich.
could, I could
At
totally
Jack in the
just
Box.
make it dirty. Extreme sausage.
Well, I lined that one up for you.
So much sausage
Yeah.
everywhere. So how's the diet been treating you and the recipes, etc.?
So, like I said, I was thinking about this for a while, and I'm the type of person that's like, if I start something, I feel like if I don't hurry up and get it done right, then I'm going to forget or I'm going to change my mind. I can tend to be a little obsessive. So, I had to talk myself into not being that way because every time I'm like that, I fail. And I had to really take it easy on myself and also my family because I knew they were going to be doing the change with me. Obviously, I can't fully change their diet. I have teenagers and a hungry, hardworking husband, but he's been very in it with me, I would say,
That's
And
good.
I've had some pushback from my teenagers, but overall, they don't really complain like I thought they would. And it went a lot better than I had told myself that it would go. Like I was like, they're going to fight me. And I did get into one fight with one of them. But at the same time, I said, you still get what you want a lot, a lot. And every once in a while, a good meal is not going to hurt you. And it's for the benefit for everybody. So after that, it was smooth sailing. But like I said, I talked myself into being easy on myself because being in chronic pain and going through different types of treatment, different types of medicine, and nothing was working. Like by different types of medicine, I mean muscle relaxers and nerve medication and all this stuff, right? And like really strong anti-inflammatories that made like the back of my eyes like numb. I felt like somebody was taking their hand and pushing my eyeballs back. Like different kinds of medicines with different kind of side effects. And then I've tried, it was horrible, like the things that they give you and they're like, here, take this, and then you read the side effects and it's like may cause suicidal thoughts and
Butthole bleeding.
depression and butthole bleeds and stomach ulcers and all this stuff. And so
Your
I'm already
nipples will bleed for a week, and it's okay.
yeah, because as if our vaginas bleeding once a month isn't enough. Sorry. For all the men out there, you have it. Very good. So I tried what they told me to do, right? You go to the doctor, Western medicine, and you tell them how you're feeling. They're like, here, do this, 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 and this. And you're in so much pain and missing work that you're like, I'll try it. I'll try anything. But I kind of got smarter than them, I feel, in a way. Not to downgrade doctors because they went through a lot of education. And I do feel like they have a purpose still. Like, I'm not saying they all suck, but it's, it's nice to go and get a checkup and them tell you, hey, there's this and that, and they're doing your blood work for you. Like, I'm grateful for certain things. But after a while, I felt like I had to take my health into my own hands because they wanted me to get these cortisone injections that I started asking people about them. And then, like, I think I got a couple people that told me, two people that told me when they got their hip injections, they couldn't walk for 2 days. And I said, no,
Oh,
thank you. And then you read about it, and cortisone can cause arthritis to get worse. And I actually have stage 2 arthritis in my back and hips. I have bursitis in my right hip. I have gluteal tendinosis in my butt cheek. Like, they wanted to just stab me wherever and see where it worked. So that's multiple injections of cortisone over, 6 months at a time. But it didn't sound appealing.
yeah.
It sounded scary. And I think people just do it and they don't look things up because they want to feel the benefits of feeling better. But I felt like I needed to look things up because I'm so sensitive, obviously, to medicine. So why would I just like keep doing more medicine, if that makes sense,
Mm.
without checking into it first? So I actually was asking for like that natural gel. I don't remember the name of it right now, but at that point, I still didn't feel safe. So I
You
tried
don't
to
like
talk
the lube?
yeah, it's like a gooey lube that they inject in your hip.
Ew.
And it's,
No
like,
thanks.
so good that you won't be able to walk for 2 days, I guess.
You get up and just fall right over.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound appealing, It's not like the good kinda not being able to walk. So, yeah, you have wobbly legs and everything, but you might get a concussion on the way down. Anyways,
And you may get anal leakage on display.
no, we know what you did before this podcast. Anywho,
Ew, that's so gross.
you started it. So, long story short, I decided to go the natural route and I started to seek natural sources like this pain management program I started through Kaiser that they didn't offer me right away. They only offered it to me after I rejected all of the Western medicine. And
Mm.
then I kind of told my doctor, I was like, I literally haven't worked for 4 months and you're barely telling me about this mind body experience, like mind body soul experience. So basically, it's a combination of meditation, unique physical therapy, like you get your own physical therapist. You don't have to be in the room with 20 other people and doing the wrong exercises you're doing. They actually like check every nook and cranny of the way that you function to give
Yeah.
you the best physical therapy exercises for you. And they're very, very, very gentle. Like one of them involves breath work that helps me make my abdominal muscles stronger so that I can get around better without having to just pull my back so much. And so far, I've done 3 days worth and I already feel stronger in my core, but the pain doesn't feel worse. Like if I were to go to physical therapy and do the physical therapy exercises, I would come home super sore,
Well,
because
that's good.
yeah, they just look up basic physical therapy exercises regular physical therapy does, and they give you what they think you need, but they don't really listen to you. They don't check you out first. They don't, see the way that you twist and turn and like the way that you lay, and like she corrected the way I get out of bed. Like it's like down to the bare minimum. Like, and so
You
it's
just
very
roll out and slide onto the floor.
I used to, but I made my husband move spots with me. 'Cause I was up against the bed or the wall, and I was, like, sliding out of bed, and she looked at me, she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, He goes to work early, he needs the outside of the bed." She's like, "I don't care, like, what are you doing?" I was, like, doing it all wrong, But, So I just made some little adjustments. And then on top of the anti-inflammatory lifestyle change. So it's a combination of more omega 3s than omega 6s. Omega 6s is like the trans fats, and it's like soybean oil and sunflower oils. Like certain oils can cause inflammations, and olive oil is like the
Mhm.
best one that you could have, and that's an omega 3. And then I'll have my like almonds because nuts are an omega 3. As long as you're having more omega 3s than omega 6s, it helps to stabilize your body and doesn't cause as much inflammation. Omega 3s is in like fish and stuff like that as well. And then different kinds of meats, like with no antibiotics, that's like what I try to stick to because a lot of the things that they put in our food cause inflammation as well. So I do what I can afford, obviously, because when you go to buy meat, things are so expensive. Sometimes realistically, you can't buy what you want to buy, but I do my best. And I'll do like organic produce if I can. And like if you do like green teas, you incorporate like the antioxidants in there too, like
Mhm.
berries and green teas, which are known to help fight certain kinds of cancers as well. And then there's ways like this diet or this book that I have, like everything just tastes so good. There's ways to season your food without so much salt. So if you know there's a certain amount of salt I can have a day, sodium, which is like less than 350 milligrams per serving. I mean, little changes like here and there. And then, like, over time, I just kind of add things. And it's funny because remember how I was telling you we were on our way back from Mexico and I had some McDonald's? And
Ew, was
then,
it McDonald's? I hate McDonald's
so I hadn't had
and
any
Taco
Paramount.
Bell.
Oh,
Ugh.
I just had like, I'll have stuff like that sometimes, but not half as much as I used to. But it's funny because it was, like, probably about 6, 7 weeks into this new lifestyle change, and I'm noticing less brain fog, right? And
Mm.
less forgetfulness, and the depression symptoms were lowering. And if I got depression and anxiety, which I still do, but it doesn't last as long. So, like, I started noticing, like, almost right away within almost 2 months, the change, right? And I
Mhm.
went to McDonald's and I ate like a pig because I was like, I didn't pack my lunch. I didn't have time. I could treat myself. I've been doing so good for almost 2 months. 20 minutes after I had the McDonald's, my perimenopausal symptoms came full force. Hot flash from the inside out. And it wasn't the type that I'm like, oh, I'm kind of hot. It was like my skin was like burning from the inside out. My
Were
mood
you
was
all sweaty?
horrible. Yes. And I had the air conditioner on my face. Like, I
Well,
just
what did Daniel say?
he was sleeping, thank God. I was driving like that. I was like
The sweat
I
was all
was in
getting in
such
your
a
eyes.
bad
It
mood.
burns. It
Yeah.
burns.
The reason I know it's hot flashes is because it's what how every other woman has explained it to me. It's like from the inside out and you can't control it no matter how many layers you take off, how much air conditioners you have on your face. You could have 47 fans and you'll still be like sweating so bad, right? And I was like, that's crazy. I hadn't had this happen to me and since I started it pretty much. And now all of a sudden I eat this crap, which tastes so good to me. I love their fries, okay?
Yeah, Marcus loves them too.
My God, they're so good. But and then it happened to me again when I had like a cheat night at home and I had like dessert afterwards and like I said, I'm not gonna not have things sometimes, but like it happened to me again. And I was
Your
like,
hormones were balanced, and then all of a sudden you just kicked them right into perimenopausal all quick.
yeah.
Your body didn't know what the hell to do.
Yeah, and it just, like, made me really realize that I decided to go the right route because what happens with inflammation is we eat all these things, right? Processed food. Another thing that people should stay away from is bioengineered food because that stuff is made in the lab and you don't know what that's gonna do to your body. And things like what is that called? I did it they send you food. What did I do before? They send you the food to your door.
Oh,
Nutrisystem.
HelloFresh.
I
Oh,
don't
I
know about HelloFresh.
Nutrisystem.
I can't say that about them, but Nutrisystem, a lot of their food is made in their labs
Ew.
and it's called bioengineered food. And if you look on your label, it should tell you if, a lot of things are bioengineered, like they're at the grocery stores too. And so those things are actually man made with a lot of chemicals, and we don't know what they're doing to our bodies. But inflammation starts like little fires in your body because it like it heats things up, right? It's
Mhm.
inflammation. And then ends up cutting like holes, I would say, is like a basic term inside of your intestines, right? And so you get leakage into the bloodstream from your intestines because your intestines are leaky, right? You heard of leaky gut and gut health.
Mm.
And so all this processed food, it doesn't have any fiber in it to clean you out. It doesn't have any prebiotics, probiotics, and it just eats your stomach, right? And people have all this gas afterwards, or they feel so gross, but they like that instant rush of the feeling of that food, so they keep eating it, right? They're addicted to it, or however you want to say it.
It's the sugar and the carbs.
Yeah, and the sugars, like high processed foods. Like you hear people say this stuff all the time. It sounds so simple, but it's been linked to dementia, Alzheimer's, diabetes, cancer, arthritis. It makes arthritis worse, and that was my issue right there.
Yeah.
Like I have arthritis, I have all this inflammation, and they want to give you all this stuff to numb all that, but they're not really fixing the problem. They're just giving you things to calm down the inflammation that are man-made. And so I had to think of it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had to start advocating for myself and saying no to all that. And then that's when they're like, finally, like, well, try pain management. It's a combination of mind, body, spirit. So you get the cognitive behavioral therapy about pain, like where it comes from and how stressors can, affect it, make it worse, so that that you're getting that part of it. You're getting the education about pain and where it comes from. And then you have to learn how to meditate, and then you need to do your personalized physical therapy. So that's what I just started. And I'm also starting water aerobics as well.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
so yeah, but I just wanted to share my experience with everyone that I'm a believer, and there are
I'm a
days.
believer. Sorry.
Yeah, I can fly. I feel like R. Kelly.
Ew, don't say that. Your nodes? Your nodes are flying.
I'm not gonna pee on anyone, don't worry. Anyways, that was my experience, and I wanted to share with people that if
So what
anybody
about
can
them
do it,
eggs?
if I can do it, anyone can do it, and that eggs are really good to have when they have omega-3s in them, and, those are, like, super expensive, so I'm considering stripping so that I can afford my eggs. So if you see me at the strip club, mind your business.
Shut
Don't
up.
tell my kids, my husband.
You didn't get to tan your white butt today at the tanning salon?
No, they don't have tanning. They all lied to me.
Ew.
That's okay. I'm just happy that I'm back in the gym and that I am excited, excited for me, for
You're,
myself.
like, walking and you're like, "Woo!" And they're
I'm
like,
kinda nervous
there's a
to
crazy
go
lady."
kinda nervous to go to the water aerobics classes, because what if people, like, pee in the pool? Do they have, like, the dye? Or,
You're
like,
just like, start drowning because you forget to swim. I'm sorry, I just seen you walking into the pool like, "Ah."
or I'm all running away from the pee?
The water turns
I'm like,
blue.
"I'm outta here, guys."
Okay.
Alright.
I did a little research on my subject because I was gonna talk about the transient issue in San Diego, California,
Okay.
and some of my experiences with them living in East County, where there's a high volume of them. Well, the population in San Diego alone is 1.388 million
Wow.
in San Diego, and that was
And
in
ho
2023.
and how many are homeless?
10,605,
Wow.
which increased since 2023 by 3%.
Wow.
Yeah, I was talking to Marcus. I was like, "What should I talk about on my podcast?" And he was like, "Well, what about the transient issue?" I was like, "Ooh, that's a good one because I see them everywhere." Like there was an
He's
instance
being
when
supportive, that's great. Daniel sent us something, remember, it was about how Trump was like, how he wants English to be the primary language. And I was
yeah,
like, "We're gonna try to stay away from politics," but damn, now really a lot of people say that he's racist. It's really gonna go it's really gonna hit the fan. They got so mad about that
yeah,
wall in Mexico. But no, we don't talk about politics on here.
maybe just a
That's a good
tad, and then all of a sudden we pull back.
that's a really good subject, though. the Trump thing. But you were saying, so yeah, I remember feeding the homeless, and then I realized it was illegal and I had to stop.
Is it
But I used to
illegal?
go to the dollar store, yeah, because people were putting I don't quote me on this, I looked it up a long time ago, I looked it up in, like, 2018, 17 maybe, so you can imagine, like, I've already forgotten details, but I just remember the basics of somebody was poisoning them, and so yeah, somebody was poisoning them, and so it became a problem, obviously, and they made it illegal. You cannot feed them. But I didn't know that. I thought I was doing a good deed. You know, I was going to the dollar store, I was getting a case of water, and then I was getting like a pack of bologna, you know, whatever I could afford. And I would make like 50 bags. And I would get like the paper bags or whatever. I put like a water bottle or like a juice box or something, and then some chips in there,
Yeah.
and I would walk around the park in El Cajon, and I would go drive. Didn't we go together? I thought you went with me.
I think once, and I
Yeah,
went once with Chastity, and I think once with D.
yeah. So yeah, it's illegal.
Well, I've had some. I don't really mind the homeless. The two things that I mind is their trash and littering after they're done, like with an encampment and they're made to move, and then the out in public drug use. So I know I was in Carl's Jr. drive-through probably like maybe a year ago or maybe close to a year ago, and some guy was just smoking meth right
Mm,
next to my car while I was in the drive-through, and Junior's looking at him like, "What the hell is he doing?" And I'm like,
yeah,
"Ugh."
that's
They're just out in
horrible.
the open doing it, and
Yeah.
there's there's a lot of people that have lived in El Cajon that still I've known them since I've lived here. Like they're literally old people
Does
still walking around.
does what's his name's ex-wife still walk around? Or is her name Diana or
Donna.
Donna?
No,
You still
I've
see
seen
her?
her. She usually camps out. Well, she used to across the street from Jack in the Box on Main Street
Mhm.
by Golden Corral, but I haven't seen her in a while. But every
The
time I've
homeless
seen her, she would have a bad limp.
the homeless that has been there since I was in high school, sis. Like, they've been up there underneath that bridge, like, they live under there, you know? And but just over time, alcohol went from being to, like, a safe place to live to something that's becoming to look a little bit like downtown, like, you know, downtown San Diego. If you drive through there, there's camps everywhere, you know?
It just
And,
smells like pee.
yeah. And they don't like, I've walked downtown and I've never been bothered by a homeless person. But I mean,
Yeah,
I
me
know
neither. They usually stay to themselves.
they do. But obviously, some of them might be desperate. So you have to be careful because they'll do anything to get drugs. But yeah, I've walked past them and not really had any problems. I know that people get in those situations for different reasons. So I try not to judge that they're homeless
Mm,
because we don't really know why. I mean, they could have no family and a disability, and you just never know. You know, people kick out their family members that have mental illness and they're wandering the street. Like, you don't really know. But the fact that
yeah,
it's everywhere is just, it's sad. I feel for them.
there's a gentleman across the street. Well, his dad lives down this like little alleyway across from my apartment.
Mhm.
And he's younger. He's like, I'm thinking maybe late 20s, early 30s, and he's schizo. And it's like times I don't see him. He's really skinny and he doesn't eat. And he's talking and yelling and kicking the air. And like, he's just on one mentally. Like, you could tell he doesn't do drugs. It's like mental. And then he'll go home and then I'll come back out wearing like brand new, like clean clothes, like showered and stuff. And I don't know if I always feel for him every time I see him. I always say hi, and he has such the kindest eyes. Like you could tell he's just battling a demon that's inside of his head. And he's asked me for a cigarette before, while I was walking Phoebe, and I was like, "No, I don't have one." And I was like, "Have a good day." And he's like, "Bye." And then when I first made contact with him, I said, "Hi, how you doing?" And then he would yell, "Happy birthday!" And I'm like,
Oh,
like "Happy birthday to you too."
you're like, "It's my half birthday. It's very happy and birthday to me. Blow the
No, but you
candle
could tell
on the
I just
roof."
want to like check him into an institution so he can get the right treatment.
Yeah, I definitely feel like if it's a mental illness, that I think they should be helped first. If it's just people that are too lazy to work, I mean, I really do think just depends on your circumstance. But people with mental illness, when it's so bad, they don't know how to care for themselves. So why are they not getting the care that they need? It's just that's not cool.
Well, I'm glad that we got the audio all figured out. We were having some issues, some echo issues.
I think we should have just left it. And then we could have said, hi, 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 hi.
But it sounded like somebody else is in the room.
And then you would have been like, I'm hi, hi, hi.
Where's Daniel at? Working still?
He's in the room sleeping. He's off tomorrow. He has an interview.
Interview where?
Yeah, I forgot the name of it, but I'm just so happy for him. Just pray for him because he
Nice.
needs it.
Is he nervous?
Yeah, I can tell. He was trying to prepare himself today by doing a sock shift for cybersecurity and hanging out with his a couple of his classmates, talking and stuff, asking if they've gotten any interviews and stuff. Just kind of reconnecting so that he can get ready for his interview.
Oh,
Anyway,
imagine.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm just
I'm
gonna.
happy for him.
I'll finish up our episode so I can say goodnight to Silas. I think he's gonna go to bed.
Is Cal still sleeping? Or did she go to bed already?
She went to bed. I did Isabel's birth chart reading today, and she was really happy. Silas, you can come say
So
goodnight.
cute.
I don't mind if you interrupt me. I love you. Say hi to Neater.
Hi. Hey.
Lips are blue. Did you have your fun dip today? Did you eat a Smurf? Remember fun dips? We were just talking about
Those
that.
are actually so good.
Another one. I love you, baby. Good night.
I
Say
love
bye
you
to me.
too. Make sure you tuck in your chin hairs before you lay on your pillow.
Sweep them away so they don't get in your eye.
I
All
love
right.
you.
Well, okay, guys. Thank you for being here today on this episode of Making It Weird. Thanks for being here with us, Mia and Christina.
Thank you so much, you guys. And we will see you next week. Hope you have a good night.
Good night.
Night. Cheepy, cheepy, night, night.
Do, 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 do. I'm high. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.